Hello everyone, I am Silver. It is Monday, April 1st. I just wanted to say a quick hello to any new viewers and an awesome welcome back to all returning viewers. If you tuned in last time and decided to come back, I really do appreciate it. You can find me on Ravelry as Silverluna2112. I am at Silver's Treats on Instagram and at Silver's Knitting on Twitter. Anyway, how have you all been? I've been pretty good. Lots going on in my little corner of the internets. I do have a lot to talk to you about, so I should probably get started, right? So grab your drink of choice, your knitting or crafting, and away we go. Today, as always, I'm actually going to be just drinking a nice cup of water to get me through the recording, only because I still have the bridge in my mouth and other issues I will talk to you guys about later. Let me just take a quick drink and we will move on. My favorite things. Well, let's see. This month, I did manage to get together with a bunch of people actually and be kind of social, which is rare for me, especially during the month of March. But anyway, the first one, MTI and I got together with his and my parents. Sorry, I don't have any photos, but we had so much fun. We went to Pizza Napolitano, I believe it's called, in Prospect, which is kind of one of our favorite haunts. I absolutely love going there and always seem to have so much fun. Let's see. His dad actually ended up buying some beer that was new to him, it was an okay beer. It was like a coconut beer. I'm like, okay, in concept it sounds interesting, to say the very least. Let's see. We also got together with my sister, my brother, and my brother's boyfriend and his parents for Indian food, you guys. My first time ever going to Indian food, and I think I ate more than everyone else thought I would. So, yay me for trying something new. I actually do have a picture of the whole group together, so yay, we have fun. We had so much fun, oh my gosh. Was completely stuffed when we left though. Oh yeah, and on Saturday, MTI and I actually ended up going for ice cream and beer with my parents. We went to Rich's Ice Cream Place, which is one of our favorites. I should have a bumper sticker saying, "We'll drive 40 minutes for ice cream," because, yeah. See, and that's Rich's out in Oxford, if you actually are from the state and know where I'm talking about. And we ended up going, like I said, to a brewery called Black Hog. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this place, you guys. I will definitely go back. We ended up bringing home a couple of beers, actually, to keep trying. So MTI ended up getting a flight together, and there were a few more on the table, and like some nachos and things, and we have lots of fun when we go beer tasting. And that was actually with my parents. Okay, so, and on Saturday, I ended up going out to get ice cream and beer with my parents and my brother, and NPI, of course. We ended up going to Rich's Ice Cream Place, which is actually a dairy farm out in Oxford. I should definitely have a bumper sticker that says, "We'll drive 40 minutes for ice cream," because, yeah. And let's see. Oh, and after that for lunch, well, quote unquote lunch, we ended up going to a place called Black Hog Brewing Company, where they do their own like craft beers and things like that. I had so much fun, and I tried a few beers too. One that kind of tastes like seltzer, which was pretty damn good. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I did take a picture too, so yay. Another thing that happened this month was that Mario actually turned 7. Yay! We actually had a pretty low-key day with him. Lots of kitty cuddles, of course. And he pretty much lived in MTI's lap, because that's how he does. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is that we live literally really close to a Dairy Queen, not to triangulate my position at all, but basically they opened up for the season, and ever since then, I think we've been there about 3 times, which is amazing. Usually we get there like twice a season, but with something I'm going to be talking about later, I definitely wanted ice cream more than solid foods this month, so we went. Let's see. Oh, another wonderful thing, and I'm going to do a quick shout out to Miss I Now Hour. She had messaged me this week, yeah, probably a week and a half now, and said that, based on a conversation we had had, she would like to go ahead and pass on the kindness that I had shown to somebody else about patterns and things. And she wanted to donate a copy of my pattern as a prize for the knit along I'm going to mention later, in both March and April. So there's 2 copies of that. And basically, wow, I mean, the generosity of this person, I'm telling you. Not only does she comment on everything, well, not only is she participating in the Cal, but she's just amazing and completely blew my mind. It was the message came through to me on a day where it was needed, let's put it that way. Okay, now that I'm done gushing about her, something that's not so yummy. As I alluded to earlier, I've been having an interesting month when it comes to dental surgeries, as in I've had 2 teeth pulled and a root canal, and I'm going to have another couple teeth pulled in the next week. So I'm kind of like not looking forward to that. But I just want to let you guys know what's going on. So if you hear that my voice is a little bit different, you know why. Mostly because I have a couple more holes in my head. But anyway, let's move on to something that's a little bit more awesome. I did win a prize in the Geeky Girls Knit podcast, the winter knit along that they have. I ended up winning these Eagles themed progress keepers. I absolutely love them, you guys. I cannot stop looking at them. Oh, and I also did get a shipment from Wink Wines. We did end up getting the 2017 Lost Poet. Also got the 2017 Pregame. We also got a 2017 Independent Chardonnay and a 2017 Endgame Chardonnay as well. I think that was the name of the game for the month, I think. Let's move on to FOs. I managed to finish 4 things this month. Quite a bit, actually, considering I was supposed to be in the middle of a bunch of owls and things. Either way, the first thing that I finished was what I called Baz Shawl number 2. I did end up using the Yowza Weighted Shawl number 2 by Susan B. Anderson, and I used 2 different colorways of Miss Babs Yowza in the Echo colorway and Across the Universe. For this shawl, I did end up using a size US 9, which is a 5.5 millimeter Chaigu needles on that one. Oh, I absolutely love the way this came out, and my recipient will absolutely love that. Speaking of which, I need to remind myself to get in contact with her to make sure we get delivery. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The next thing that I did finish was what I called the March 2019 DVD socks. I ended up using the pattern Socks for the Deputy Headmistress by Erica Luter. I love the way that it played with the Desert Vista Dyeworks Viso Zom Tigger colorway. Absolutely love it. I've gotten so many compliments about those already, and I love it. Especially when I was out and about knitting them in public. People really love the fact that I can do a pattern and still kind of pay attention and talk, right? Which is amazing for me. Either way, I digress. On these, I did end up using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter needle. Most of the time, I used 9-inch circulars, and then on the toe, I switched to 16-inch circulars to make sure that, I didn't lose any stitches or anything like that. Let's see. The third thing I finished was what I called Tried and True. This pattern was the Trillion pattern by Martina Ben. I used Wool Mice Pure in the Zavril und Rossi colorway, which is blacks and a little bit of pink and some gray in there as well. It's a nice, awesome, variegated color. On this one, I did use a size US 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter needle. I was determined to finish this shawl. I think I've had this on the needle since, I think it was 2015 or 2016, so it was time. Let's see. Oh, and the last thing that I did finish was what I called Everything's Peachy, with a smiley face at the end, because you all know how I do. I finished this up and had about a week left to spare of the owl, so yay me. Anyway, sorry, the pattern I used on that was the Anemone by Maki. I ended up using Leading Men Fiber Arts, their showcase base in the Just Peachy colorway. I still had 2 skeins of yarn left of that colorway, so I'm using it for something else. I will talk about that in just a moment. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I use a size US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and size US 6s for the rest of the body, which that is actually a 4.0 millimeter as well. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have 2 hose, not just 1, but 2 this month, you guys. I finished the first sock of the what I called the Blue Love socks. This is the CC's Vanilla Cappuccino socks pattern that I'm using by CC Almond of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I am using a Gale's Art single knit sock blank in the Blue Love colorway. Basically just right from the blank. Absolutely love this blank, you guys. I should probably show you a picture here as well. If I remember, I'll put it in. I'm actually using a size US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter needle for the toes, heels, and for the toes, heels, and cuffs. I'm actually using 16-inch circulars, but for the rest of it, I do have a pair of 9-inch circulars I'm using, so they go pretty fast once I'm actually working on it. I believe this one has been on my needles for so long, I honestly can't remember when I started it. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, and the other thing that I finished 1 sock of this time around is what I called Roy G. Biv Forever. Is a rainbow, you guys. The good news is I actually finished practically both socks. The only thing that I still have yet to do is the toe on the sock, and that is actually going to be put into Stash Dash hiatus. If you don't know, Stash Dash is actually a cow through the Knit Girls. Laura and Leslie both have put together this cal over the years where you go ahead and you finish things and you get, your imaginary points for finishing it up. So I am going to have this pair of socks be my first ready for Stash Dash. You want to know the pattern I used, right? Okay, so the pattern that I used on this one is the Vanilla is the New Black socks by Vanessa Fletcher. I absolutely love the way the heel works on my foot, so yay! I am using Rock and String Creations in the Super Sock colorway Roy G. Biv, obviously a rainbow. And I'm also going to be using this tan tweed on the toes as well. I don't remember where I ended up getting it. I think it's a German wool. I don't remember. But I've had this for toes and heels and stuff like that for years, so. And I am using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter. For a majority of the socks, I did use 9-inch circulars. Now I've actually switched over to a pair of DPNs just to kind of hold the needles for now. I will eventually be going up to a 1.5 just for the toes by themselves because I have big feet and I need the room for the toes. Anyway, more than you probably want to know about me, right? Let's see. Oh, and I have been working on quite a few works in progress since the last time we talked. I'm actually going to take a quick drink and we will get started. Okay, so I have started a few new things since the last time we talked. The first one, which actually is what I am most proud of, is Nothing is Lost, Sakana, Only Changed. Sorry, I can never say that. I don't have the right accent on the right syllable. I'm so sorry. Either way, the pattern on this one is the Nothing is Lost, Sakana, Only Changed wrap by CC Almond. By CC Almond. I am using the remainder, like I mentioned before, of the Leading Men Fiber Arts Showcase Just Peachy colorway that I had before. I'm hoping to use both full skeins, and we'll see how far it goes. This is actually for a surprise recipient. I know they don't listen to my podcast, but I'm not going to mention it just in case on the off chance they happen to catch it. But I am using a size US 3, which is a 3.25. They are Addy. Hold on, let me double check. I think they are Addies. I'm looking at it right now, you guys. Can you tell? Yes, I think they are my Addies. Addies lace or something like that. Either way, I digress. This is actually being housed in my Outlander bag by the Knitted Broomstick. I love this bag, and nothing like a theme, right? Let's see. Oh yeah, and the next thing that I did start this month was what I called Slippers for Days. I'm actually planning on making several pairs of slippers for the holidays. I'm not going to say who they're for, when I'm working on them, only that I am working on them kind of slowly throughout the months. Basically, I am on the first sock now. This is a pattern that I inherited from my great grandmother, mostly because she knows I'm the only one of her side of the family that knits. Basically, this pattern is super easy to figure out and get started. It's more of a matter of me writing it down, and I will publish it eventually. For the first sock, I did end up going with Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, their worsted base in the Sapphire Heather colorway, which is an awesome blue color, and I cannot wait to get back to them, to be honest. I'm using 2 skeins each for each pair of slippers, so we'll see how well it goes. And I am using a size US 8, which is a 5.0 millimeter. I'm using my Susan Bates straight needles for those as well. And this is actually being housed in my classic TARDIS bag by Addicted to Sock Knitting. I love it. Another new work in progress that I just casted on a couple days ago actually is what I called a Ray of Sunshine. This I am using for this pair of socks. I'm actually using the Toe Up Socks with a Difference by Wendy D. Johnson. And I am using Patton's Croy Greener Pastures. And a size US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter 9-inch circulars for these as well. And then this work in progress is being housed in my library book bag by Whimsy Stitches that I did get through the Leading Men Fiber Arts A Year in Review kit recently. The next thing that I did start since the last time we talked was what I called Aunt Pinky. Pinky, like Pinky, sorry. Also using the Toe Up Socks with a Difference pattern by Wendy D. Johnson. And I'm using Cascade 220, the fingering in the Azalea Pink colorway. And I'm also using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circulars on that one as well. And it is being housed in my Purple Bird bag by Slip Stitch Studios. Oh, and the last thing that I did cast on since the last time we talked is what I am calling Bromance R Us. I, again, am using the Toe Up Socks with a Difference pattern by Wendy D. Johnson. And I am using Knit Picks fingering in the Cathedral Park colorway, which are purples. They are browns, and there's some blues in there. Oh, I absolutely love this variegated colorway, you guys. And for this, I am using a size US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter. And it is being housed in my Zelda stained glass bag by Slip Stitch Studios. Sorry, say that 10 times fast. Okay, and there were also 4 other works in progress that I've had on the needles for a while that did get a bit of love as well this month. The first one I called Whispering Myra. This is the Myra pattern by Renee Mueller. This is going to be one of my summer tops eventually once I finish it. I did get to the separation for these sleeves, so the front and back are now basically on the same needle, but I am only working back and forth on the back piece. And this pattern is the Myra pattern, like I said, by Renee Miller. I am using Knit Picks Cotton in the Whisper colorway. And for this one, I'm actually using a size US 3, which is a 3.25 for the ribbing and the ribbing on the top and the bottom, and a US 5, which is a 3.75 for the rest of the body of the work. These are my Knitter's Pride Zings that I just got. I absolutely love these needles, you guys. Let's see. Oh, and also what got a little bit of love, and not much, but I'm about midway through the first foot of the Pinky Socks. Pinky Sis Socks. Again, say that 10 times fast. I am using, again, the Toe Up Socks with a Difference pattern by Wendy D. Johnson. It's actually my preferred way of knitting for other people. without knowing the exact size of somebody's foot. So, but for this one, I am actually using Knitpicks Hawthorne Fingering in the Park Rose colorway, which is, again, very pink. I am using a size US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter on that one. Oh, and also what did get a bunch of love is what I called Northern Skies. This is the Northeasterly pattern by Melissa Alexander Loomis. I am using Leading Men Fiber Arts in the year in review kit that they had for 2018. I finished up the starting point colorway, the Only Have Eyes for You, EWE, and the Twilight Sparkle colorway. I am currently working on the next one, which I believe is Head in the Clouds. And let's see, I also put in a stripe with the Old Rusted Chair Riding the Storm Out. So now I do have 2 columns started. I did just do that one colorway in the second column and then realized, you know what, I should probably just do it by one strip at a time, mostly because I didn't want to have to juggle different needles and things like that. And I'm actually using a size US 2, which is a 2.75. I'm using my Carbon's DPNs on that one as well. That way, if I wanted to go ahead and do another row or whatever, I can go ahead and do so and not have to worry about it. Okay, and the last thing that I did put a little bit of love, and by a little bit, I mean quite a bit of love on, was what I called the Stripey Heart. This is the Granny Stripes pattern by Lucy of Attic 24. I am using a lot, and I repeat a lot, of miscellaneous red hard scraps. Quite frankly, I don't know all of them off the top of my head. I did make a Ravelry project page with all of the different yarns. And since the last time we talked, I did do the rest of the blanket proper, and I finished some granny clusters around the whole blanket, which took me a whole hour, no, whole 4 episodes, I think, of Supernatural, so about 3 hours roughly, just to do that one row. And then I am doing a single crochet around the entire blanket again, in 2 different colorways. This I did put aside again for Stash Dash, hoping that I can get a couple blankets done for Stash Dash and a bunch of socks. We'll see how that one goes, right? I am using a USK hook, which is a 6.5 millimeter. I believe that's what it is. Yes. Let's move on to Silver's Unraveling Fast. Yes, y'all, I did have a few things that I had to rip out this month. I'm not really sad about any of them, to be honest. It was about time, and I've been definitely taking stock of all of my works in progress and realizing how many of them I didn't actually want anymore. More specifically, this knit together cowl that I was starting to participate in back in December, I realized I didn't like the pattern enough and I wanted the yarn for something else. This was basically this is what I called simply Holiday 2018 Knit Together Shawl. I have ripped it back and I haven't looked back since. The second thing that I wanted to rip out this past month was what I called my Scrappy Lap Blanket. I have decided, especially based on the largeness of the blanket for my hubby and I that I'm making for the bed, I have decided that these 2 colorways that I was planning on putting in my Scrappy Lap Blanket would actually be better for the outside of that blanket, just because, yeah, we have a queen size bed, so we need a queen size blanket. And I was realizing as I was doing the Scrappy Heart blanket that I'm going to need more yarn around the outside than I think I will, so I did that. And I also realized too that I probably wasn't going to be using this lap blanket for myself. It would probably just be sitting around, because I'm looking around, literally around me. I have 5 that I've made over the years. I don't use a single one of them. So why do I need a 6th? Very good question, and a valid question. So it got ripped. Now, the last thing that I did end up ripping out was what I called Exterminate the Rainbow socks that I've been working on for quite a bit. I actually decided to rip out the yarn and repurpose it for a different pattern. And now I have finished an entire sock. They're going to be shorty socks, just because I accidentally split the ball in half at one point, I think, when it was being skeined up. And I just decided I need more shorty socks in my life. So the pattern on this one is the Toe Up Socks of the Difference by Wendy D. Johnson for myself. I did use a Desert Vista Dye Works Viso colorway called Rainbow Exterminate, which is a Doctor Who themed. If you are not a Doctor Who themed, you probably won't know where that reference comes from, but at one point in one of the seasons, there are a bunch of bad guys called Daleks who decide to make themselves into different colors. And at one point, I'll have to put a picture here so that you can see it. There's a picture where there are 5 different Daleks and they all are lined up to look kind of like a rainbow. And that's exactly what this colorway is. Sorry, I'm such a geek, but I had to explain it. Either way, I'm actually using a size US 1, which is actually a 2.25 millimeter needle. And this is actually being housed in my Purple Haunted Mansion bag by Slip Stitch Studios. I love this little tot, you guys. It has been with me through a lot. I think it was actually one of the first ones that I bought from Slip Stitch Studios, if I'm being honest. X's and O's. So I have been kind of busy in my writing life over the past month too, which is very rare to happen. But to be honest, it does have to do with a lot of blog posts that I've been writing. Number one is I have caught up on all of my FO posts, especially since I'm going into stash dash hiatus mode, which means I'm not going to be finishing as many FOs as possible. I wanted to be completely caught up to the end of March at least. I probably have at least 1 or 2 more FOs in the meantime, but you never know. And I also managed to, spoiler, I managed to read a lot over the past couple months, so I had to go ahead and update my books post that I have on my personal blog, which is dreamysilver2112.com. If you want to go and check that out for yourself, that is up to you. Radio GaGa. I have been listening to 2 albums pretty much constantly. The first one is the Rumors album by Fleetwood Mac. And also I've been listening to a lot of Led Zeppelin, the first album that they have. Oh, love it. I'll explain more about that toward the end in Ministrati. I'll tell you why later. Let's see. Oh, and I have been listening to a bunch of podcasts. I have finally caught up with the Outlander cast, as well as the official Outlander podcast as well, for season 4. I finally listened to all of their podcasts for that. Let's see. I've also been listening to Harry Potter and the Sacred Text, as well as My Favorite Murder, Wine and Crime, Voyage to the Stars, and That's Why We Drink, Is This Adulting, and the Knitbar Girls. I managed to do a lot of catching up. When I was binge listening to the Outlander cast, I got about 4 or 5 weeks behind on everybody else, and I am officially caught up now. Silver's book pile. Yes, you guys, I have been reading a lot of books. I have finished reading 12 different books. I have read Dance Macabre and The Harlequin, both by Laurel K. Hamilton. I also read a series by Nancy Warren, the first book called The Vampire Knitting Club, then the second one called Stitches and Witches, Crochet and Cauldrons, then there's Stockings and Spells, then Pearls and Potions, and there is another one in this series that is coming out relatively soon. I don't know when though, but I will let you know when I finish reading it. I loved this entire series. I pretty much binge read it in about a week and a half tops. Let's see. I also found another series by Sam Burns and W.M. Fox. The first one in the series is out now. It is called Prince of Death, and the next book should be coming out in May, I think. I already pre-ordered that. That's how I know. I just can't remember the exact date it's supposed to be released. Let's see. I consumed a book in like a half hour called Romance Quickies by Monique Dubois. This is actually the second time that I've read this book. I had forgotten until I had completely finished the book, as one does. Let's see. Oh, and I've read a book called Saved by a Billionaire by Eve Fox. And then I did start another new series to me from Michelle Lynn called Don't Let Me Go. The second one is called Let Me In. And the third one, which I'm currently reading right now, is called Let Me Love. Let's see. Oh, and I'm also currently reading still Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. We are on chapter 28 now, and I am listening to this along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast, so I pretty much read a chapter a week, and that's pretty much it. Let's see. Oh, and I did get a fair amount of distance read on Breath of Snow and Ashes by Diana Gabaldon. I believe I have gotten to page 750 out of 1400 something or other. Either way, I hopefully, and you could hold me to this, I want to finish this by the end of April and move on to the next book. Let's see. Oh, and I've also been reading a little bit of Blood Noir by Laura K. Hamilton in my quest to finish up rereading all of Laura K. Hamilton's Anita Blake series. Again, hopefully by the end of summer I'll have done that. Silver and the Case of the Screen Time. I have been watching a lot of things this month, you guys. So just take a quick drink, grab your knitting because I'm going to go ahead and do so as well. And yeah, this is going to take a bit. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's been one of those months where I've been busy, but I've also been like a little bit antisocial and social at the same time. So it's been a weird month, especially since I haven't been feeling well because of the surgeries. Either way, I know I'm rambling. In terms of TV, I have been binge watching the entire series of Outlander to kind of go along with Outlander cast in the official Outlander podcast. And just to kind of remind myself what happened in each season, etc. It is also officially the 6th time that I've watched through every one of those episodes, so it's great. I have also been watching a show called Proven Innocent. It does have like Kelsey Grammer in it, and one of the girls that was in Twilight that I actually really liked. Let's see. I Am the Night did conclude its first season. That was about the Black Dahlia murders. Murder rather. I really love that series. I don't know why it officially ended there, but that's where Tamara and God, what's her name? That's basically where the biography ends for that as well, which is pretty cool. I have been binge watching all of season 1 of True Blood, just about to the end of season 2, actually, to be honest. I've watched a little bit of Glee season 3. I've watched up to midway, I think about 4 episodes left of season 2 of 24. And I've also watched a lot of episodes of Supernatural in season 7, also trying to get through that entire thing by the time that they air their next season. So that way I can keep caught up. If you hadn't heard, they have their last season being recording now. Either way, let's see. I have watched a lot of movies, you guys. I watched I Know What You Did Last Summer. I still know what you did last summer, and I'll always know what you did last summer. I did not know that last one actually existed until I was just kind of looking around on Amazon, as one does. I watched Christopher Robin. I also watched Freaky Friday, Mean Girls, The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. You could sense the theme, I'm sure. And then it was 13 going on 30. I watched Titanic again for the first time in a while. Don't know what got into me. But I watched the version of Les Mis with Anne Hathaway in it. Oh, I love that version, you guys. Because Wolverine will always be Wolverine. But anyway, I did also watch The Princess Diaries, The Royal Wedding, and I also watched The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, because Lautner, of course. I watched Into the Woods, Crocodile Dundee, then I went into Pitch Perfect 2, Pitch Perfect 3. You can sense themes with all these, I think. The next movie I watched was The Aristocats, which is a favorite of mine. The Princess and the Frog, The Little Mermaid, The Incredibles, and The Incredibles 2, because I don't know why I hadn't watched it before. And then I went to a dive into Hallmark movies over the past couple Saturdays. I have watched Season for Love, Flip That Romance, Love to the Rescue, Just Add Love, and then a couple of movies called All of My Heart. The second and third movies, which the second one was called In Love, spelled INN, because I love a pun, y'all. And then the third one was called The Wedding. Pretty good movies. I happen to personally like Lacey Chabert a little bit, so whenever she has a movie, I tend to watch them, and that's pretty much what got me started on watching movies, the Hallmark movies this time around. Okay, and I actually have been watching a fair amount of podcasts as well. Again, trying to catch myself up after not watching them for a while. I do have a full list of all the podcasts that I do watch on a weekly basis if I can, and I put that at www.silversdreamlandpodcast.com. It's also where you'll find the show notes, and I will link it directly into the show notes as well. It's a separate page on the the left-hand sidebar on that show notes page as well, so that way you can find it. Either way, the ones that I finally managed to catch up on were the Knit Girls, because I was a couple weeks behind. Oops. The Geeky Girls Knit Podcast, Round the Twist, the Grocery Girls, because I was 5 episodes behind on them. Sorry, Jody. Sorry about that, ladies. Oh my god, I just dropped a stitch. Okay, I'm gonna put my knitting down for now. Either way, let's see. I also watched Dramatic Knits. I had a couple of episodes. I watched Criminally Creative, Knit and Kitten, and Stitching the Hideout. So I'm all caught up on. Oh, good. Okay, I didn't end up dropping a stitch. I just ended up not knitting a stitch 2 rows down, which made a hole, which made me kind of nervous. So through the magic of editing, you probably won't hear me swearing up a storm as I'm doing that, because of the magic of editing. Yay! Let's move on to the next segment before I start rambling again, right? The more you know. Okay, it is time for a Cal breakdown. Alright, let's discuss the Great Podcaster Craft Together 2019. This is a Cal that I am hosting in 2019. The Craft Together itself will start on January 1st and will end on December 31st. If you are a podcaster and like to go ahead and host an FO thread on your Ravelry board as well as the main post, that's up to you, and that's perfectly fine. So chatter threads are even better in your threads as well. It's up to you. And also, giving away prizes is also up to your personal preference. If you are officially participating in the along, please PM me directly. I am Silverluna2112 directly on Ravelry. I will go ahead and add you to the list of podcasts that are participating. This does include your podcast banner being included, as well as you being added to the list of moderators if you so choose as well. And for everyone else that is not a podcaster, if you do happen to listen to any podcast at all and would like to go ahead and join in the along, please feel free to go ahead and join in and definitely spread the word. On all social medias, including Instagram and everywhere else that you may be participating, please use the hashtag TheGreatPodcaster, K2TOG. Now for the rules. You must be a member of the KAL Ravelry group. I'll link everything in the show notes. So your projects must use at least 10 yards of yarn. Now, individual socks do count, unless, of course, whenever you finish the pair, that one pair will only count once. Sorry about that. Them's the breaks. It's kind of how socks work, I guess. So any project that you finish in 2019 will count. Just so you know, non-Ravelry crafts are allowed. This does include, for example, scrapbooking, latch hooking, quilting, sewing, needlepoint, holiday baking, even diamond painting will count, as well as regular painting. Just so you know, I would like to have a before and after post as well when you do put them in the Ravelry thread, just so that we can kind of see your progress and see basically what it looked like before. So you know, poly dipping is allowed and actually even encouraged. We have a thread going in the FO thread. I do encourage everyone to go ahead and include what other cows they're participating in. That way we can go ahead and participate as well. Now, in the case of scrappy blankets, so you know, 1 stripe or 3 squares count as an FO in this context, because quite frankly, who isn't working on some version of a scrappy blanket, or maybe 2 or 3 in my case. But yeah, and I know those FOs won't, and those larger FOs won't be completed in time for the end of the year. It's just a fact of how scrappy blankets are supposed to work. Now, you want to know about the prizes, right? I am fairly set on prizes for now, but I will accept any if you would like to go ahead and donate. If you'd like to donate anything for the prize pool for the cow, please PM me. Again, I am Silverluna2112. The first one in the prize pool are 12 individual patterns of $10 or more patterns on Ravelry of the winner's choice. And once a quarter, I will be giving away a copy of my Proud to Be Me pattern that I created last year. Let's see. Oh, and Java Pearl Designs will be giving away 1 free pattern of your choice from their Ravelry store. So a total of 12 for the entire year. There will also be a set of stitch markers that's donated by Colson111322. We'll have pictures soon, I promise. And there also are 3 skeins of yarn by Nice and Knit. The first 2 are on their fingering yarn base, which is 490 yards of 100% superwash merino. The first colorway was Sand Dollar, and the second one I believe is Deep Blue Sea. There's no name of it on the label, but it's super cute. And the third skein of yarn from Nice and Knit is on their sock weight yarn base, which is 463 yards of 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. Again, no name on the label, but I believe it was called Mayflowers. We also have a skein of yarn from Mad Fuzzy Yarns on her pretty tough sock base. It's called the Season's Greetings colorway. I love this colorway, you guys. Let's see, from the Spotted Circus, we do have a worsted weight skein of her Paca CVM wool, which is 80% alpaca and 24% CVM wool. Oh yes, and Most Crochet is actually donating 4 individual skeins for hand-spun yarn, 1 to be given away per quarter. Oh, and from Adorn Knits, we do have a winter theme Progress Keeper and stitch marker set. And we did get a large donation from Knit Picks, which is awesome of them. I have gone ahead and separated them out into multiple prizes to be more fair to everyone participating. The first one is the Stitch Fix and Connecting Threads Scissors package. There's also a colored stitch markers with tin and yellow tape measure. That's the second one. The third one is actually a purple Notions clutch. Oh, love it. And the last one that they donated was a gold needle organizer. Let's see, from Joanna at Stitching the High Notes. I do have a enamel pin from her shop, as well as a candy cane Progress Keeper. I believe there will be more coming soon. Don't quote me on that though. And from Molly Klein Designs, we do have a pink gingerbread town bag, as well as the caramel latte yarn that she gave us. I love the way that looks, you guys. Okay, and from Wee Ones, we did get a set of cute unicorn stitch markers. Oh my gosh, and these spring sheep stitch markers as well. Oh, they're super cute. I'm super jealous of who wins those. Okay, you guys, and the piece de resistance, we have a grand prize. Yes, a grand prize. I did announce this last week, I believe, because I had finally gotten word that I can finally go ahead and do so. In this grand prize package, there's going to be an alpaca progress marker from Adorn Knits. There's a physical copy of Interpretation 6. It's still in the mail, annoyed to me, but it is coming. Also, Java Pearl Designs has offered a free ebook of the winner's choice. There's also going to be a Mrs. Brown's bucket bag, a $50 Miss Babs gift card. This is actually going to be a digital gift card sent to the winner directly via email. And the final part of the grand prize was donated generously by the Knit Picks team. They have donated their rainbow wood interchangeable collections. One is a crochet collection that has hooks E through K, which is a 4 to a 10.5, and a set of knitting interchangeable needles, which are a size US 4 to 3.5 millimeter, and a size 11 to a size 11, which is an 8.0 millimeter. I am going to go ahead and let the winner pick which one they would like, or if they would like to, both. Because I don't know if the winner is going to be a knitter only, or a crocheter only, or somebody that does both. So, yay! Ooh, super jealous of you guys, let me tell you. You guys, there's also a new prize because this month we reached 150 FOs. Oh my god, you guys, congratulations. Thank you so much for entering them. To this end, I'm going to be adding a prize from Megan Regan, sorry. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name, from her pattern store of $10 or under, to celebrate the fact that she's going to be releasing a new awesome pattern, a new GaGa pattern. I love it. Absolutely love it. I will go ahead and link that below in the comment section as well as the show notes, so that way you know which one you would like. And I'll be drawing for that in a little bit. So congratulations to our March FOs. Craft Worker, D Door 4, I Now Hour, Farmeister, Jennifer Reels, Jodadiah, Just a Dose of Love, Knit Central, Knitter Chow, Elle McCall, Moe's Crochet, Nicole S, Original Sin, Penny Gale, Share 2014, The Zeneca, and VT Kim Kim. Oh my gosh! Congratulations, you guys, for finishing that many FOs. Moving on to honorable mentions. So if you've probably noticed around the forums, I actually started a new contest at the end of January. Now, if you hadn't noticed, I had actually been loving every project, mostly because I just cannot get enough of the awesomeness that you've been working on / finishing since the beginning of this cal. It's just basically who I am. And I do like to share the love and to celebrate everyone's accomplishments. If you do agree with me and would like to go ahead and start doing so, that would be awesome. All you have to do is go ahead and hit the love button, or you can hit the love down below the picture of the item that you would like to vote for. So you know, there's going to be an added twist for those that do decide to participate. At the end of each month this year, I'm actually going to be awarding the most quote unquote lovers with the pattern of their choice on Ravelry. Perhaps even the individual who got the most hearts on their project will actually get a little something extra as well. So make sure, if you go ahead and are voting, that you go ahead and say in the honorable mentions thread for each month that you say I voted, and then that way I have actually already announced the winners of the honorable mentions for the month of March. The voting for the month of March has begun. Just please be sure to visit the honorable mentions March thread that I've opened up on the Great Podcaster Craft Along Ravelry group. Just make sure that you mention that you cast your vote for FO entries 113 through 192 before April 30th at 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time. Just so you know, I may be persuaded to delay closing that until the next day, however. Just so you know. Okay, what you came by for, you want to know who won some prizes this month, right? We are going to be drawing winners from prizes 3 through 192, because that's what we got to. Just going ahead and generated the first one, which was a $10 pattern on Ravelry of the winner's choice. So that winner is post number 162. 162. Okay. Sorry, the winner is number 162 based on our random number generator. Is on, sorry, so what's going on my computer right now? Let's see, 162. Post number 62 is Original Sin. So $10 or under, please go ahead and contact me on Ravelry. Again, I am Silverluna2112. I am going to go ahead and mark this in my favorites so that I remember to get back to you about that. Okay, I'm going to pick another random generator, again from 3 through 192. And this one is actually for the Java Pearl Designs pattern. That is post number 106. Let me go ahead and see who is that. 106 should be on page 6. Nope, I lied. Ha! Page 5 even. I did the math earlier. Why am I not remembering? Alright, so post number 106 was D Door 4. So congratulations. Please just go ahead and PM me directly with which Java Pearl designs you would like. Try to keep everything organized, you guys. So congratulations again, G Door 4. The next prize we are going to go ahead and draw for is a copy of, this is the first copy of the My Proud to Be Me pattern. This is going to go to post number 70. Alright, so the copy of My Proud to Be Me pattern is going to post number 70, who is I Now Hour. And now, as I said at the top of the episode, I did get a new donation from I Now Hour giving away a pattern of My Proud to Be Me shawl. This first one is going to go to post number 88. And it looks like post 88 was a deleted post, so I'm going to have to redraw again. Okay, redraw. Next post. Okay, so this one is going to be 118. This is usually why I don't do it live, you guys. Sorry. It takes me so long. Alright, so post 118. So the winner of a copy of My Proud to Be Me pattern is number 118, who is Elm Call. I love it. Alright, so if you can PM me directly, again, I am Silverluna2112 on Ravelry. I will make sure that gets over to you very quickly. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw in another Proud to Be Me pattern just because I am feeling super generous. This is the winner number 45, who is Jodadiah. So Jodadiah, please go ahead and just PM me directly, and I will make sure you get a copy of My Proud to Be Me shawl. It is a simple shawl, but I am so proud of it. It is actually inspired by the Geek Girls Knit podcast. All right, and the next prize that I am going to be giving away today is a a skein of handspun yarn by Moe's Crochet. This is for post number 27. Is Knitter Chow. Wow, congratulations, Knitter Chow. Please just go ahead and PM me directly on Ravelry with your address, and I will make sure that gets out to you directly. Once again, I am Silverluna2112. Okay, and like I mentioned before, since we are going to go ahead and give away a pattern from Megan Regan's Ravelry shop, I'm going to go ahead and draw for that prize now. That's going to go toward, and like I mentioned, since we did get to 150 FOs for the month or more, I will go ahead and add a $10 or under pattern from Megan Regan's pattern store directly on Ravelry. This is going to post number 96, and that is Nicole S. Congratulations, Nicole. Thank you so much. Go ahead and PM me directly with which pattern you would like from her store. Okay, and the last things we are going to be going ahead and giving away this month, like I mentioned before, I've already gone ahead and put up all of our honorable mentions, winners and stuff up in the post in the Ravelry group, but I wanted to go ahead and announce them directly here on the podcast as well. So the winners of this must PM me directly on Ravelry with your choice of $10 or under pattern on Ravelry. Okay, so believe it or not, we had two individuals that were tied with a total of 9 loves that they received. One was post number 72, Try Linda, and post number 92, who was Nicole S. So congratulations, ladies. Please PM me directly. I will go ahead and gift a pattern of your choice. And for those who voted, there were 4 total people that went ahead and voted this month. I'm going to go ahead and pull a quick $10 or under pattern for you. Post number 5. Post number 5 was I Now Hour. So please go ahead and just PM me directly with which $10 under pattern you want, Miss I Now Hour. Alright, so besides the Cal breakdown, I'd also like to talk to you about a new upcoming podcast both MDI and I are actually putting together. We're calling this Music for Two. We're basically taking 2 different albums that we like, and we're going to go ahead and discuss it with each other about what we like about the album, what we don't like, some different tidbits about the albums and things like that as well. That we are going to be recording this coming Saturday and hoping to premiere on the 7th, which is Sunday. Wish us luck! Lots of geekiness and, dare I say, background scenes into our relationship, maybe? I don't know, but it's a cool endeavor. I'll put a little snippet if I remember next episode. Okay, we have come to the end of the road. I am pretty social. You can find me on our Ravelry board, which is Silver's Dreamland podcast. I am Silverluna 2112 on Ravelry. On Facebook, Silver's Dreamland can be found at www.facebook.com/Silver's Dreamland. On Instagram, I am at Silver's Treats. Just be aware on Instagram, my direct messages do not work properly, so I'm unable to see them. But if you've been trying to get in contact with me that way, I am so sorry. Please just feel free to email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com, and I'll go ahead and I'll respond as well. On Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting, and now I am on twitch.tv as Silverluna2112. Like I mentioned, I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. If you don't hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to PM me directly, like I mentioned, at silversdreamland@gmail.com. As always, everything that I did talk about can be found directly in the show notes at www.silversdreamlandpodcast.com, as well as some shortcuts and everything in the comment section below here on YouTube. Okay, I have rambled for long enough. I know your time is valuable, so please feel free to join in any discussion, or you can even start your own directly on the Silver's Dreamland Ravelry board. I don't bite, I promise. Anyway, please stay tuned for episode 67 on Monday, April 15th. Until next time, happy crafting! And you want to know why I use the title Whiskey's a Liquid? No. It's an Outlander reference.